Okay. Welcome, everybody. It is March 19th. This is our Push to Emerald call. I am going to share my screen so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about, what I'm looking at. And I will have the Emerald slides up. So you can kind of look at this together, because I know I'm a very visual person, so it might be helpful for you to look at it with me for it to make a little bit more sense. Yeah, so basically we have this call, for anybody who might be listening to the recording, who's new to the group, we have this call twice a month, typically at this time, the 7:30 time before the Team Boom. Team Boom is our bigger team, before we have the 8 o'clock Eastern time call for the Team Boom. And this call is, it's pretty brief, but it's basically, I want to talk to you about what is Emerald Rank to begin with, what on earth is it? And then, how you can get there and why it's super important to get there as soon as possible. And then once you're...
That's a nice surprise, isn't it?
Oh.
I'm going to eat cherry. You want some black cherry?
Kelsey. And then once... You're unmuted again, Kelsey. There you go. And then once you're there, you want to obviously continue to move your business forward, but at the very least, you want to make sure you're not dropping Emerald. And we'll talk about why that's important. So first and foremost, Emerald, what is it? Why is it important? So when you become a coach, you are a coach. That's your status. That's your rank as coach. Your first rank goal in this business is Emerald. And we're going to talk about why it's so important to get there and quickly. And I'd like to just mention, a lot of teams have started to have started to name this call Emerald in 24 hours, because that is possible to get to Emerald in 24 hours. If you can start to see how easy it is to get there and the importance of getting there ASAP, it's really something that you could hit by tomorrow morning if you really wanted to. So getting to Emerald means that you have added 2 coaches to your business. You have a coach on the left and a coach on the right. Now, it's important to mention that these coaches, in order for you to receive Emerald status, these coaches have to be active. That means they're ordering at least 50 personal volume points worth of product every month. Now, 98% of coaches fulfill that requirement by getting Shakeology every month. Shakeology is 90 PV. So considering as an Emerald, you only need your coaches to get at least 50. That is usually very easily fulfilled. Other options are things like the beach bars or the 3-day refresh with Shakeology, Energize, the performance line, the list goes on. It can be anything, as long as it's 50 points worth. Now, also, it's important to mention that Beachbody doesn't care what these people have for intentions with their business, meaning these people can be discount coaches, these people can be hobby coaches, these people can be business builder coaches. Beachbody doesn't care. They just have to be active. These people can be anybody, and this is why it's very reasonable to get to Emerald in 24 hours, because it can be anybody. It can be your kid's preschool teacher. It can be your neighbor. It can be your best friend from college. It can be your spouse. It can be your sister, your mom, your yoga instructor. It can literally be anybody. So finding those 2 people shouldn't be very, very, very difficult. Now, we say we need those 2 people. One of those 2 people is going to be your controlled business center. So we have our left and our right. We also intermittently use the term strong leg and weak leg. Depending on where you are in the genealogy of things will determine if your left is your weak or your strong, and if your right is your weak or your strong. I can help you with that. Your direct upline can help you with that. It really just depends on looking at the genealogy of things. But either way, whichever one you determine is your weak leg, that's the one you want to sign up your controlled business center. And I'm going to share why. Basically, a controlled business center is exactly what it sounds like. It is an additional business center that you have control over. A lot of people do this by signing up their significant other or their spouse. Really, it needs to be it doesn't have to be a significant other, especially if you are, not in a committed relationship, but it needs to be somebody that you trust. It needs to be somebody that's going to allow you to manage their business, like who's going to give you the password to go into their account, who's going to give you the money that you make as a result of working their business. So like for me, my husband is my controlled business center. We share a bank account. So the money every Thursday is just deposited into our shared account. And, that's that. He helps me with some things behind the scenes, but I really kind of control our businesses, and it just makes the most sense for it to be him. So like I said, if you don't have a significant other, you want it to be someone you trust, like a best friend, like a real best friend, a sibling, a parent, anybody you can trust. So here's a picture that kind of shows kind of like the genealogy. I'm just checking on my dog. So if this is me, and then this is you down here. This is the weak leg. See where the pink person is? This is the weak leg because it's like the inside. So like pretend all of this isn't even here. This is you. This is your strong leg on the right because it's the outside leg, and the whole team is going to be contributing to your success on that leg. That's why it's called the strong leg, because the whole team is playing a part in producing activity on that leg. So it's strong. You got a lot of people, you got a lot of manpower behind that leg. This one is the weak leg because you're producing 100% of the results that are happening on that side. So we call it your weak leg because more likely than not, it's going to be less strong than the side that you have the whole team. I mean, this one has the whole team. This one's just you. Doesn't mean it's impossible. You're just going to be putting more of your effort on that leg. So that's why we suggest putting your controlled business center on your weak leg, because you're going to be doing a lot of work over there. So your controlled business center might as well, benefit absolute most possible from all the activity that's happening on that leg. I hope that makes sense. Like, you're doing a lot of work over here. It's your weak leg. You really got to put in a lot of work. Which is amazing that Beachbody allows us to do that. They are like, okay, here is, like the way that they kind of set up the compensation plan. They're like, yeah, we're going to allow you to benefit from the team. That's why they really push like the teamwork and working together. But they make us put some skin in the game by saying, this is your weak leg. So you got to, meet us halfway. You got to do the work. So we suggest putting your controlled business center in the first spot on your weak leg. The reason why we suggest putting them in the very first spot and doing it like literally as soon as possible is so that your controlled business center doesn't miss out on any of the activity that's going to be happening on that leg. So let's go back up to me just so I have more of a, like a picture to show you here. So this is me in the green star. My husband would be over here. It would be this first one right here, because it just so happens that my left leg is my weak leg. Now, when I started almost 4 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing, but I trusted the process. I trusted my coach. I trusted this business. Like, I knew what was possible with this business. Oh, let's see. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I don't know why that's... No, I don't know what that's happening. So I had no idea what I was doing. I trusted the process. I trusted my coach, and she told me to sign up my husband as soon as possible on my weak leg. So that's what I did. Now, I did it as soon as possible because she told me so. But if I had waited 6 months because I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I need to figure this out first, I would have signed him up, and he would have ended up like all the way down here. Because in those 6 months that I waited to sign him up, all of these people would have signed up in the meantime. And then if I had signed him up all the way down here, his business now is going to miss out on all the activity that's happening from these 4 people. And you never know. Like, what if one of those 4 people ends up being like a top 10 coach? That's a lot of freaking volume that we could have benefited from if I had just signed him up. But if I hadn't, then he would have missed out on all of that, and it would have been like, it would have been really unfortunate. So I signed him up right away. And because I did that, that's not something you're going to see benefits from overnight. It's just not. But again, if you trust the process and you understand, you have that long-term vision of what this business can do for you, you're going to sign them up. You're going to put them there as a coach. You're going to, at the very least, you're going to hold their spot by paying the $16 a month business fee. But really, if you want them to help you get to Emerald, you're going to order extra stuff through that account. So like every month, well, my husband drinks Shakeology every day, but if he didn't, I would order my Shakeology through my account, and then I would order extra stuff through his account to keep him active, like my Energize that I use every day, Beach Bars that I eat every day, Recover when I use it, the Performance Line, like the Refresh, whatever, anything extra would go through his account, and that just keeps him active, and it gets me halfway to Emerald. You get all of the volume, you get the commission from signing them up, and it's just a really, really, really smart move in your business. So why hit Emerald? There's a bunch of reasons why you want to hit Emerald. I've gone over a couple of them, but we'll go over the whole list here. Number 1, you're gaining credibility. It's like, okay, you've hit Emerald. We, our Team Boom, which is like our bigger team, like our big upline, we have Emerald and above group. So once you hit Emerald, it's like, yeah, I'm an Emerald. You get to get into that group, and that group is really, it's Emeralds and above. So it's people who are really taking their business seriously, who are really running with this thing. And so it's a great place to ask questions, get advice. People are always swapping resources and stuff. It's awesome. It's a stepping stone, in the right direction. So stepping stone and building your own team kind of go hand in hand. It means you're moving your business forward. You can't become an Emerald unless you are inviting people to become a coach. And you're not going to be inviting people to become a coach unless you are, being a proof of the product, and you're, posting and you're sharing, and it just it all snowballs. If you're being a product of the product, then it means you're probably going to be likely to like post about it because you're feeling really good. And if you're posting about it and you're feeling really good, you're going to have people who are going to like and comment on your stuff, and then you're just going to naturally invite them, and then it's just going to be a domino effect, and it just means you're moving your business in the right direction. You're building your team, and then there's the 2 big reasons why you want to hit Emerald. Number 1 is team cycling. So when you start as a coach, your primary income is going to be the 25% commission that you get from everything that you sell. So when you sell a bag of Shakeology, a challenge pack, you get 25% from all of that. And all of that's fun, but when, it's all good and fun, but where this business really starts to get serious and really fun is when you can participate in the team cycling side of things. That's the residual income. So like half of this business, you earn the commission, the other half is team cycling. Now, team cycling means, so going back up to this image, everything that's so this is me. So everything that happens on my left leg every week, all of this stuff that is sold, whether it's through me or my coach or this coach or this coach or this coach or this coach, remember, it's a whole team approach. So anything that's happening over here is benefiting me. Anything that's happening over here is benefiting me. Anything that anybody buys, any of these coaches or any of these coaches sell, all has points. Like I just said, a bag of Shakeology is 90 personal volume. So say this person sells Shakeology, this person gets Shakeology themselves, this person sells Beach Bars and Recover, this person sells a Refresh, all in the same week. All of that volume is accumulated. So all of this, the volume that's happening over here is accumulated, it adds up, adds up, adds up. And the Beachbody week goes Thursday morning to Wednesday night. So Wednesday at midnight, the clock, starts over. It calculates all of the stuff. It's going to calculate everything that's happening on the right side as well. And then I get to cash out. So this is the team cycling bonus. So when I have at least 200 points on one side and at least 100 points on the other, it doesn't matter. Most likely the 200 points are going to come from your strong leg and the 100 points are going to come from your weak leg. You get to cash out. I think of it as like going to Chuck E. Cheese with your kids and they play all these games and you get all these tickets and they get to cash out for like their prizes at the end. So when one leg has 200 and one leg has 100, you cash out. As an Emerald, you cash out at $14 each time you cash out. Say in a given, you had a really good week and you have another 200 that you can cash out and another 100 you can cash out. That's another $14. So that's $28 that week in Team Cycle bonus. That's on top of the 25% that of everything you sold that week. Now, $14 right now might not sound like a lot, but the next rank that you move up to is Ruby, and that's $16 a cycle. And then the next rank and above is Diamond and above, and that's $18 a cycle. So if you can, again, trust the process, have the long-term vision, and see and understand that once you start really building a team, those cycles get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you could cycle 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 times a week at $18 a pop, plus the 25% commission. It really freaking adds up. My coach, Annie, just cycled like 260 times or something astronomical the other day. And, you know, she's just like us. She's not like this big, crazy top 10 coach that like is all snooty. Like she's just an average mom, like doing the best she can, showing up every day, but she's been here for years and she's put in the work and it's just paying her like twofold. It's just incredible. So the thing about team cycling is that it's awesome, but you cannot accrue those volume points unless you're an Emerald. Beachbody allows you to, you know, accrue them week after week. So they don't have like a, if you don't use it, you lose it policy. It keeps adding up. And it's just going to keep adding up until you can team cycle. But you can't start accruing the volume until you're an Emerald. So if you're not an Emerald on a given week and there's all this volume happening, it's just going to waste. You can't you can't put it in a bank account. So that's why you want to get to Emerald really fast, because otherwise you're just letting go of all of this, what I call free money. All of those points equal free money. Now, if you become an Emerald and you start to accumulate all this volume and you don't have enough to cash out, and then you drop your Emerald rank because one of your coaches quits or something, you will lose all of that volume also. So not only is it important to get to Emerald, but it's important to stay at least an Emerald. Obviously, you want to continue to move your business forward, but you never want to drop Emerald rank because then you lose all those points. That's why you want to get to Emerald really fast. The other awesome thing about Emerald is you get to be a part of the free customer lead program. So customers who go right to beachbody.com, not having a coach assigned to them and order, anything, and people who might order like P90X from an infomercial at 3 a.m. while they're nursing their baby, all of those customers get pooled together every month. Meanwhile, all the coaches who are eligible for the free lead program get pooled every month. The way you can be eligible for the free lead program is by being an active Emerald and hitting Success Club every month. Now, every month, Beachbody evenly distributes all of those customers to all of the coaches that hit that requirement. So essentially, just by doing your job, getting to Success Club, which means you're helping at least 3 people every month, and being an Emerald, Beachbody is like celebrating your success by giving you these free customers. They're like, okay, they say to themselves like, okay, Brooke must be, serious about building her business. She's an Emerald. She's hitting Success Club. We're going to reward her by giving her these free leads. Now, not all the free leads are, awesome. Not all of them want to chat with you, but every now and then you get some really good ones. I've had ones who have even turned into, very dedicated challengers, ones who have turned into coaches. It's a really awesome perk. So that's why you want to hit Emerald. That's why you want to hit it ASAP so you don't lose all of those volume points and you can start, utilizing the team cycling side of things. So I want you to start, and this is something that, we can chat about. I want you to think about it right now, but it's not something you have to tell me right now. Is number one, I want you to take a minute, and I really want you to do this, whether it's in your phone or in a notebook on a random piece of paper that you're going to keep by your bedside every day so you can look at it, is write down 3 options as your controlled business center. So like I said, your controlled business center usually is, if you have one, is usually like a spouse. If you don't have a significant other, it's going to be somebody that you can really trust, who trusts you enough to allow you to kind of go into their back office, you know their password, you get to control their business, and is going to give you the money that you earn as a result of controlling their business center. So a lot of people do this by signing up their spouse, but if not, a backup would be like a parent, a sibling, like a true best friend you've had since childhood, someone you can trust. So write down 3 options you have for that. After that, I want you to make a list of 15 people who you love that you want to join you. Whether it is as a customer who maybe would turn into a coach, or as a coach, someone who you can put in that second spot. So looking here, you need those 2 people to become Emerald. One of those people is going to be your controlled business center. Who else can we put on this side, or vice versa, depending on which one is your weak leg? Who can we put on the other side to get you those 2 coaches to get you to Emerald ASAP? 15 people. Because if someone's signing up as a coach, they're more likely than not going to sign up for like a challenge pack or something. And who wouldn't, if you love the products and the programs, you know how much these groups have changed your life. Like, obviously you want to share that with your loved ones. So like, who would you want to help lead a happier, healthier life? And at the same time, they're going to be helping you by getting to Emerald, signing up as a coach and getting you to Emerald. So I'm going to give you a minute for that. Obviously, this is something you can come back to after we hop off. And then third, I want you to go to your calendar and I want you to write down your Emerald date. Like I said, a lot of coaches are starting to name this call like Emerald in 24 hours. Literally everybody on this team could be an Emerald by tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because you're simply signing up to just 2 people, one of which is your controlled business center. So it's like your husband and your best friend, your best friend and your mom and your yoga teacher, your sister and your kid's preschool teacher. It can be any 2 people. So really it shouldn't be that difficult to get to Emerald. When and if you're signing your controlled business center, I would recommend, if your controlled business center isn't going to be following the programs and using the products themselves, I would suggest you help them with a challenge pack that's going to benefit you. So like, for example, if you signed up with the challenge pack that's like Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology, obviously you already have your own Shakeology. So maybe you'd want to sign them up with Beachbody On Demand and Performance Line. So then that way you get to try new products like the Performance Line. You get to try the Recover. You get to try the Energize. That they're helping you get halfway to Emerald. You get the $50 commission for signing up a coach and a challenger at the same time. You get all the volume, and you get 2 Success Club points. So it's just kind of like a win-win. So think about what else you would want to like try. And this is all stuff that, whether I'm your coach or your upline who's in this group, like that's stuff that we can help guide you. So when if you tell us that you're ready to sign your controlled business center, we can kind of walk you through all these things and help you kind of figure out like which is the best course of action. Obviously, the most ideal situation is that your controlled business center is someone who wants to try these products and programs with you. But I know that doesn't always happen. So, are there any questions? This was recorded, so I'll post it. And then if you're going to, rewatch it, or if you're watching the recording for the first time and you have any questions, obviously you know where to find me. I'm more than happy to help you kind of navigate all this. I know, especially if this is your first time hearing this, it can be a little overwhelming. It's a lot of information, but that's why we do this 2 times a month. So every time you hear it, like something else kind of clicks. It's like every time you hear it, it's like a light bulb you're going to have a light bulb moment and be like, oh, that makes sense. Or like, oh, I remember her talking about that. Oh, it totally makes sense now. So you definitely want to keep hopping on and making sure you're kind of really soaking in all the information. Same with the Coach Basics call. We do that once a month. But yeah, I think actually the Team Boom call, which is at 8 p.m., which is right now, I think they're doing the same exact call. So if you were on here, you don't have to get on that call. They don't usually do, I think they do this call like once a month. So usually I do this call first, and then at 8 p.m. we hop off here and we hop on that call. It's usually like a guest speaker. But I think today it happens to be the same call. So we're already ahead of the game. So I'm going to hop off. As soon as the recording is uploaded, I will post it in the group. And let me know if you have any questions. And I hope to be celebrating some of you turning to Emerald on Thursday. Thursday is like the recognition day. So if you were to sign up some people and get to Emerald before Thursday, we would be recognizing you and adding you to the Emerald and Above group on Thursday. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen and being here and dedicating the time to your business. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Bye, guys.